is specifically made to hold heavy ass shit. And the way that they've got it rigged, that probably could hold 10,000 pounds. About 5 tons.
It's called webbing.
Yeah, or they call it a sling. That is called a sling, but they also call it, webbing. And you just take it. It is a loop, so it's a circle that is completely made. Inside of it is like a metallic weave kind of thing. And so it's going through, see that thing with the red piece right there? So right there, that is called a shackle. And it's just a loop with a bolt through it.
And then you screw the bolt.
And you've probably seen those. Yeah. You see big ones on bridges. Like it's the same thing. It's just literally, that big solid steel, big one. You'll see a big thing like that on a bridge sometimes.
Okay.
Cable bridges.
And they all come down at the same time.
Yeah, you see, there's that one. Yeah, so when they first installed it, the first time, when they hung, so this metal is called truss.
Yeah.
And it's aluminum, so it's strong, but it's also not super heavy. So that's aluminum. This one is specifically, I think that's 1 foot by 1 foot, 12 inch.
Yeah.
So you can get it in different shapes. Actually, no, this is probably 18. So 1.5 feet, probably a half meter. So about right there. And the first time that they installed this, they had to sit here and they had to balance it between all these chains, and make sure with a level, they'd put a level on it and they'd say, okay, this is motor 1, motor 2, motor 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had to sit here and go, bring number 2 up a little. Okay, stop. Bring number 6 up a little. Okay, now stop. But once they get that, it's locked. The controller will keep them all the same after that point. But the first time they had to level it out. Mm-hmm. Cool? Yeah. So this whole thing can raise and lower.
It's gonna keep them level if they use the main switch. But if somebody comes in, they use the second switch and third switch,
it would be weird. Yeah.
Then it's gonna get messed up.
Yeah.
Then you gotta do the whole thing again.
At this point, they should try only to use that main switch. Yeah. Okay. And to be honest, they'd have to unplug it and plug it into something else. You know what I mean? Because the main switch is the brain, right? Mm-hmm. So just as long as they don't plug it into the wall or whatever. Mm-hmm. Cool. So we got all those. Now to control these.
Oh, the control.
Light board. So this is the same brand as the dimmers. ETC. Yeah, it's electronic theater controls. So this is one thing that's specifically for theater stuff.
Okay.
Cool. And right now, you can set this up a lot of different ways. But what I have this is what we could just call works. So I can bring all the work light out, or I can slide it up. And what it's doing is this guy, see in the back? This cable right here, these two. This is a 5-pin. It's a 5-pin cable. It looks like microphone.
Yeah.
But microphone normally has 3. This has 5. This cable runs up to those dimmer racks. Okay. So that the computer in this is telling those dimmers that are these lights to, right now this is full. So if I go to all of these, dimmer 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 38, 39, 40, 51 through 55, 58 through 60, 81 through 86. That's all the lights that are on right now. Now watch these. When I move this down, watch what happens on the screen. I can control what percent.
The intensity of the light.
Intensity, exactly. Pretty cool. Yeah. So by me moving this is sending a signal up through this to the dimmer racks up there.
To the breakout.
Exactly. To that box with all those numbers and switches. And this number 38, remember those numbers that you saw down the side?
Yeah.
The other one is 25 through 48 or whatever.
Okay.
Right? And there was a third box. There's a third box in front. Because we have 3 sets of 24 dimmers. So
Okay.
72.
72.
72 in the house.
Yeah.
So this number corresponds with one of those, which sends power to these, right? So these are what, this whole system is what we call conventional. Because it's, even though it's fancy, even though it's a little fancier, essentially it's the same thing that your wall switch at home has that it twists. It's just a bigger version of that, right? And it, you know, and instead of running power in the wall, you know, through conduit and stuff like that, we just run it through breakouts and break-ins and cable. But it's all copper. It's all basic. You know, power is going through copper to a light bulb, okay? What we're gonna do today is that new system where the light itself doesn't have to come from up there. So these new lights, if we look right here,
New lights.
these sort of new color changing fancy lights,
Yeah.
right? So right here, this guy has a computer inside it.
Yeah.
So that cable right there, it doesn't run to a dimmer, it runs to the wall. It runs upstairs and just plugs into steady power that's on all the time, okay? Because that turns on the computer inside of it. We're about to attach a data cable, basically like you do a computer, like when you're plugging a computer into the internet. We're gonna do a data cable so that computer will tell that light directly. No going up, no going down. That computer will talk to that computer to say intensity 100, intensity 50, turn red, turn blue, turn green. It can do all those things. So you don't have to go up through that system. That's why these are more powerful, because I can just buy that board and that light, and that's all I need, some cable. I don't need $100,000 worth of big dimming racks, because all of that upstairs was probably $100,000. So much money. But that light's probably about 3K. No, 1K, 800 to 1,000, sorry. So that one's about 800 to 1,000, $800 to 1,000.
Do you know the name of the light?
Yeah, so this is a same brand, ETC, Color Source PAR, P-A-R. Color Source is the brand. PAR is the shape of the light. Parabola, for a math term, it's just the shape of the glass inside. That's it. So Color Source PAR, and then it runs to, this is an ETC, and I didn't say the board. The name of the board is an ION. Just I-O-N. And this is the cheapest. This is the one you'd want to start with. And this is just an easy monitor. Any old monitor, any old keyboard, any old mouse.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. I don't understand this. Where are you gonna get the cable from here to go to that? No, the
Don't
data,
have to.
something like that.
Don't have to. Oh, to that light?
Uh-huh.
So I could just run one of these to that first light, and then light to light to light to light to light parallel. Because each light itself has an in and an out. So I can run in, back out to the next light, back out to the next light, back out to the next light, right? Tomorrow, and if you guys come back on Tuesday, we have these fancy little orange boxes that has a little antenna. And I plug one in right here. In between, so this cable plugs into my box.
Yeah.
This plugs into my board.
Yeah.
And it's a transmitter. So you want to see the back of it?
No.
Take it out. So these are the signal. It's called DMX.
Yeah.
This is what we call the signal. So that goes in here. These are all just normal. It just looks like a normal computer. Because basically this is just a fancy Windows computer. It just, at the heart of it. And then it's just got all these buttons and wheels and stuff like that. But then my little orange box, if I put another orange box over here, clamp it to the pipe. So tomorrow, I'm gonna clamp my little orange, it's a receiver. So the one over there is a transmitter,
Yeah.
send. This one's receiving. It plugs into the first one, and the signal is just like your cell phone. Just jumps from here to here, and then we'll run because we only have, each one of those boxes is $1,000. We bought 4 of them 5 years ago, you know what I mean, all together. So I only have 4. One is the sender. Number 2 is gonna be right here. Number 3 is gonna be on the floor right here for two smart lights. Number 4 is gonna be over there on those 2 pipes for a smart light on each pole. So that way, that just saves us from having to run 75 feet, 50 feet, 50 feet, 50 feet. It just saves us time and cable. Cool? So today, we're gonna start you, as soon as we get some help, we're gonna start you on the top of the scaffold right here. I'm gonna bring up see that box of cable?
See.
I'm gonna bring up some of it. We don't need all of it. And I'll literally hand it to you with the scaffold right here. And we're gonna start just tying just the same way it is, just little pieces of string.
No.
And we're gonna plug one into right here, run to the next light, that's these 2 right here, run to there's one, so there's 2 here. Then if you look, see the speaker? There's another 2, but there's also one more pointing back at me.
Okay.
The way you can tell the difference is you see on that light, there are there's those little circles. You see the little circles on that light? 1, 2, 3, there's a ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with a one in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So look at those. And then we come over here. See, this one's body looks the same.
Yeah.
But inside, you see how it looks different? It's just one circle with a bunch of light coming through. Hey friends! How's it going? You can drop your stuff like on the risers, and we'll actually be down in just a second.
It's just one circle.
You can just right on the top of that seating unit. Yeah, that's fine.
It's just one circle with what?
So in here, that's just one big circle, because inside of there it's just one light bulb. It's just super bright, but there's only one source.
Okay.
On the new lights, those rings,
Like 6.
each of those rings has 100 little sources.
That's what.
Well, because 30 of them are red, 30 of them are white. Sorry, 30 of them are red, 30 of them are green, 30 of them are blue. And by turning red, blue, and green on, you mix, and it makes white.
Shit.
Exactly, or just red, or just green, or just blue, or just whatever you want it to be. So that's how you can look at them and tell. So you can look at that one and say, also, it doesn't have that blue connector. It just, this one is dumb. It literally has one plug right there. And that plug, see the breakout right here? It's trace it back.
What is the breakup?
Right up there. You see? And then it changes and it splits into 6 smaller ones. And then sometimes we have to put extensions, even more. Like, cause the breakout is only maybe 5 feet, 6 feet. So you might need, we have additional 10 foot lengths, 15 foot lengths, 25 foot lengths, 50 foot lengths to be able to go from the breakout anywhere we want to. Cool. Hey, we have help.
Finally help. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. No, I thought
Give him your name. What's your name?
Michael.
Michael. Michael from Brooklyn College.
Yeah, man.